So this honestly isn't the video that I was planning on making for you guys today. I was planning on coming back to my channel after taking a month or so off here with a big grandiose Sid Meier Civilization 7 review, but unfortunately, due to me committing the absolute #1 cardinal sin of being a gamer here in 2025, that is of course having expectations of a game being good before it releases, and having expectations of a game actually being good at launch. This was rendered impossible, right, guys? Sid Meier Civilization is one of my favorite franchises in all of gaming. Easily top 2 or 3 for me, for sure. Thousands upon thousands of hours put into the games collectively, starting back, I believe, with Civ 3 was the first one that I got into. I know Civ 4 was the first one that I played real heavy, but moving on since then, I've been a huge fan and huge proponent of the series, played it everywhere in any way imaginable, right? And when I found out that it was coming to VR, a medium that I of course am passionate about and love, I was absolutely ecstatic, guys. I was through the moon, and it was something that I 1000% knew that I had to get my hands on, so much so that I actually decided to forego getting Sid Meier Civilization 7 in its flat version for my computer, right? And instead, I elected to wait, even when there was no release date, right? I was one of the early adopters. I was there through the thick and thin of it. And of course, when the game finally dropped, day one, I was right there at launch. No review copy or anything like that, right? This was me spending my $60, my hard-earned $60 on what I was hoping was an amazing experience. And instead, what I got was complete and utter bullshit. Ooh, is that a crashy crash? Did we just crash? We crashed. Well, boys, we've had our first crash before we even got into our first game. So, I'm not saying that this necessarily is indicative of what I'm about to experience, but it definitely doesn't bode well for what I'm about to partake in. So as you can see, we're not off to the hottest of starts, right? Game crashes before I even get into my first match, but whatever, cool. It's day one. It shouldn't be the expectation, but it seems like it just has become the expectation. Games aren't gonna work when they come out, no matter how much money you spend on them. And that's a whole nother subject for a different time, right? But cool. Run it back, decide to load it up, gonna keep persisting on, right? And I finally get into my first game, the new globe for the world that they use, kind of like a tabletop demio type of vibe. Interesting, different, but I get it, right? Trying to do something new for VR, so I'm not even turned off by that, right? But about 10 seconds, 12 seconds into my first game, it started. And what I mean is the absolute shakes, guys. The absolute most jumpy, jittery experience that you can imagine, right? It's like, and for those of you who are around my age, right, it's like when Reggie from Rocket Power just grabs the camera and just does one of these and shakes the absolute shit out of the camera, guys. It was like that. And I had to keep my head perfectly still to even try to capture some gameplay, some okay gameplay for you guys.
The time has come.
Yeah, I'm actually getting sick
playing this, and I don't get sick in VR, but this is very, very, very unstable. So I'm going to do some tweaks.
And even outside of all that, right? Even outside of the jitteriness, and jumpiness, the globe mechanic, it is what it is, right? I would have loved to go more of a tropical approach, right? Which is another game, another series that I love. Haven't played it nearly as much as I've played Civilization, but another franchise that I love. And when it came to VR, the biggest knock on it was, the visuals aren't the greatest. Once you get past that, which I'm able to do, I'm not a big graphics person, right? Not a graphics whore by any stretch of the imagination. Once you get past that, pretty solid, right? The game itself runs well, plays well, performs well. So I didn't have any big complaints about that, right? Love Tropico. And honestly, I'll probably be going back and playing that more than Sid Meier's Civilization. And that is of course because Civ 7 is so bad right now, guys, for your MetaQuest 3 that I actually went back and refunded it. Very first game I've ever done that for, as this game is a complete and utter mess. I'll show you a couple more of the gameplay clips I was able to capture, but even basic things like the design of the pieces on the board, how they make the cities look, things of that nature, just look bad. And it's not because the textures are muddied or anything, it's just that the actual design of the assets themselves is just bad. It's just bad. And this is something that hopefully when I come and take a second crack at it, because like Orlando Brown trying to find his substance of choice, right? I am just addicted, guys. Civ 7 Civilization is not something I'm just gonna give up, and I'm gonna come back to this 3 months, 6 months, maybe a year later, and hopefully by then they've kind of got their shit together. But right now, this game was so bad, I wasn't even able to appropriately review and produce a review for you guys for the channel. But that wasn't the only mistake that I made, right? Because fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, I'm just a dumbass, right? And another game that I was excited about before launch, which we've already established is an absolute no-no in the world of gaming in 2025, Silent North. I know it's going into early access, so I try to give this one a little bit more slack. But guys, the rubber banding, the PlayStation 1 visuals, and again, I'm not a graphics whore by any stretch of the imagination, but the PS1-esque era visuals combined with the rubber banding, and then just the complete dearth, the lack of anything to actually do outside of the occasional zombie, makes you think, why the hell did we even release? This was not ready for early access. And of course, there's things that you expect with an early access title, right? Some bugs, some glitches, things of that nature, but that's not even the biggest problem. Again, there is just actually nothing to do. Limited runs of people that you find. The elements aren't necessarily too tough to survive against. And the holstering system in this game is the worst holstering that I've seen in VR. Period. And I'm sorry to say that Combat Waffle Studios, I know, is a studio that a lot of people love, right? A lot of people love Ghost of Tabor. I'm not the biggest fan, but what I do love is Grim, which if you haven't played is essentially Rust in VR. It's absolutely fantastic. But the spin and of course the little twist on it, the thing, the razzle dazzle to kind of make it different, of course, is that it's set on Mars, so you do have to watch and maintain your oxygen. Fantastic game, absolutely love it. But guys, Silent North, not it.
Some abandoned vehicles up here. Well, that was stupid. Where's the fuck my gun go?
So as you can see, when I'm meleeing that zombie there, I'm kind of just pulling one of these wacky inflatable arm type deals with my cricket bat there. Don't know what the hell that is. A lot of issues. Cool. Early access again, so I will cut him some slack. This is something that, much like Civ 7, I will be revisiting, not because I'm addicted or anything, but because I do think that maybe there will be something of note, perhaps a visual overhaul, hopefully a visual overhaul, right? Definitely need some objectives, some more loot, and they've already started getting a patch out there and trying to address some of these issues. But again, if you know these issues, somebody after play testing this has to know that these issues exist. And instead of trying to milk a few extra dollars out of the gamer, out of your potential fan base and player base, maybe produce and put out a product that is at least half passable. I know a lot of people gave CM Games slack for the Into the Radius 2 early access, but they were very upfront, very straightforward about what they had, and they've continuously built upon it. And from the start, you had a playable game that was actually available and ready for consumers to jump in there and accomplish things, explore, and complete objectives and things of that nature. But with this game and a lot of other games, right? Like we talked about Civ 7, Alien Rogue Incursion was really bad with this. You have games that get released and are absolutely terrible at launch, and then they get that stigma, and it hurts everybody, right? It hurts the trust with the gamers, it hurts the developers because they're not getting any revenue because everybody hears about how bad the game is. Shout out to Bulletstorm, another great example. It's actually a very, very solid title on the Quest 3 and PSVR, and PCVR platforms right now. But a lot of people, again, heard about how bad it was at launch, that they probably won't give this one a shot until a dramatic price decrease happens. And even then, it's still a 50-50 chance with the way that some of these platforms, particularly Meta and Steam, are handling displaying VR content. We'll just leave that at that. But anyways, guys, I just wanted to talk about a couple of disappointing games. This isn't the way that I planned on coming back to the channel, but again, you'll be getting some of these rant videos a couple times a week on smaller topics that I decide I want to touch on in the world of VR, just to really kind of get it off my chest, right, as they would say, right? Just to really put it out there in the ethos. So if you enjoyed, appreciate you. I'll catch you on the next one. If not, this is not your cup of tea. Don't worry. I guess countdowns, reviews, video essays, and of course VR news now, all still going to be coming at you guys. I appreciate you guys coming out. Until next time, peace.